Who the hell are you, man?
I am Venom. I'm just kidding. It's Dr. Michael Morbius at your service.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're talking about the origins of Morbius.
Well, he's a Capricorn. Likes long walks on the beach and people with a sense of humor.
This time around, we'll be looking at how and why a Nobel-prize winning scientist became known to superheroes and civilians as a living vampire.
The great thing about Morbius is there was so much to explore. And there were different iterations, different versions of the characters. There were different writers that took the character in different places.
Which of these Morbius facts surprised you the most?
Apparently, rather than biting people, he used to have suckers on his hands, and he could suck your blood like that.
Let us know in the comments below. When Michael Morbius was a child, his mother tried to keep him inside as much as possible.
Michael, I've known you since you were a child. You're a gift.
She was worried that any small accident could spell his end because of his rare blood condition. Although Morbius passed the time by reading and accumulating knowledge, he still longed to connect with others. Fortunately, he had a friend named Emil Nikos who came to understand his medical condition. The two grew up together and worked closely on experiments that might heal Morbius for good. After graduation, they successfully used vampire bat blood to make a major breakthrough that earned the duo a Nobel-prize. But Morbius didn't have time to celebrate.
Why am I still here if not to fix this? I have a rare blood disease, and I'm running out of time. This could be my last chance.
Unfortunately, the doctor's condition was getting worse by the day.
And that pushes him to make a very radical decision, not to cure him, but to save his own life.
A desperate Morbius decided to push his experiments beyond anything he attempted before.
You're up to something. What is it?
That's not exactly legal.
He used his remaining funds to purchase a boat where he could conduct his research out of sight. The doctor then placed himself in a special machine while Emil watched over him. But during the experimental treatment, Morbius became a vampire-like creature.
My face! Skin translucent, nasal structure distorted. I have got to reverse this. There is something else. I feel a hunger.
Unable to control his newfound bloodlust, he attacked and slayed his friend Emil in an instant. Morbius was instantly flooded with regret and horror at what he had done. Since he no longer trusted himself and his fiancée Martine was on board the boat, the doctor jumped overboard. His desperate dive into the ocean only led to more trouble.
I went from dying to being more alive than ever.
It worked.
Not exactly.
After emerging from the sea, Morbius saw a different vessel. Although he tried to contain his new vampire instincts, he was eventually pushed over the edge and took the lives of more men.
And that thrusts him into this monster who is very different from Michael himself. And but those urges, those instincts that he feels are very similar to things that he has felt within him. So the question is this monster his true self? And this, beautiful person a facade or vice versa,
The conflicted Morbius quickly fled the scene of the crime and found himself on Long Island.
Dr. Michael Morbius, you've been missing for 2 months.
When you're a stranger,
Then you were found on a container ship that washed up off of Long Island.
faces look ugly.
After a quick rest, he stumbled across Spider-Man.
You! What has happened to you?
Let's just say that you don't own the franchise on weirdness.
During this fateful meeting, the web crawler was trying to get rid of the extra arms he had sprouted. It's a long story. In any case, Spidey was so distracted that Morbius easily caught the hero off guard. Their tense fight got even more complicated when Dr. Kurt Connors arrived and transformed into the Lizard. When the melee concluded, the webhead realized he could get rid of his extra arms by using Michael's blood. Spider-Man's best hope to heal was the living vampire.
If I don't get the neogenic recombinator back from Morbius, I'll start mutating again into that man-spider monster. And Morbius will use it to create a whole new race of vampires.
Morbius and Peter had another intense clash above the streets of New York.
Please, let me help lift your curse! I am not cursed!
I am blessed!
In the end, the vampiric doctor fell into the ocean. Since the webhead thought his strange new foe was gone, he cured himself. But the vampiric Morbius later emerged from the water to continue searching for a solution to his condition. During his misadventures, he fully came to understand how many unique abilities he had.
I have increased strength and speed, and some form of bat radar. What else can I do?
His strength was off the charts. He could glide through the air, heal quickly, and do so much more. Morbius occasionally used these talents to help the supernatural team known as the Midnight Suns. But Morbius still found himself with a burning desire to feed on innocence.
Luckily for you, I have already fed tonight. That sedative I've given you should keep you out of my way.
What made him stand out from a typical vampire is that he tried to suppress his urges. Unfortunately, whenever he came into contact with a villain or had a misunderstanding with a hero, his fangs were liable to come out.
Can you control it?
I don't know.
Half the city wants to kill you.
While Morbius made his debut in a Spider-Man comic, he was popular enough to make appearances across a variety of stories and mediums.
Something's wrong with me. I don't know what. It comes over me at night, like this force I can't control.
He even got his own self-titled book in 1992. Outside of comics, Morbius appeared in everything from video games to animated shows. He most notably got plenty of time to shine in Spider-Man the Animated Series.
Nobody will have her but me!
Who are you?
You do not recognize me? I am Michael Morbius.
The Vampire Doctor was also going to make an exciting live-action cameo in 1998's Blade. Unfortunately, his scene didn't make it into the theatrical cut of the film. After rumors of a Morbius film floated around for years, Jared Leto was officially cast to play the living vampire in a feature film.
And the thing that I liked is I had an opportunity here to bring the character to the screen for the very, very first time. And that's quite an honor.
The trailers have hinted that the writers will be remixing certain elements of the source material.
How far are we allowed to go? To fix something that's broken.
While Morbius will still be a doctor hunting for a cure, the movie's version of Emil appears to be closer to a father figure than a friend. We hope this change also means that the doctor won't bite into his ally. Speaking of people who are close to Morbius, a version of his fiancée will be played by Adria Arjona.
Michael, what's happening?
The most notable omission in the cast so far is Spider-Man. Although we get a brief glimpse of the wall crawler in the trailer, there's no solid proof that we'll see the hero in full. However, if Michael Keaton is playing the same Vulture character he was in Spider-Man Homecoming, then a Spider-Man cameo is more likely.
Hey, Dr. Mike, you and I should stay in touch.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Whether the webhead shows up or not, we're looking forward to seeing the conflicted Morbius on the big screen.
I'm excited about introducing a new Marvel character to the world.
I'd do anything to save a life, but I don't know what I'm capable of.
The character is constantly torn between a need to feed and desire not to hurt innocent people. His constant inner battle has made it hard to classify him as a noble hero or sinister villain. Fortunately, his stories are interesting no matter whose side he's on.
There's something about nobility that is really interesting about Morbius that I didn't realize it, I think, until I watched the movie. Yeah. Right? That he gives up a big title and has so much humility to what he does, and he is saving his life, but he's also an attempt to saving many people's lives, and is sort of putting himself at risk for it, and that's sort of admirable. And I think that element or that side of Michael Morbius that comes out, I think Martine really appreciated, and I found it really, really interesting.
The living vampire is ultimately an intriguing character that you wouldn't want to hang around when he's hungry.
Are you here to heal the world? Or to destroy it?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.